to ride their bike across the United States, for example, to hike large mountains, all kinds of 14ers, all kinds of really cool events, double centuries, you name it, in the endurance world, I've coached it. I coach people all over the United States, Hong Kong, France, Africa, all over the world. So, at any rate, I did all that, had the largest triathlon team in Nevada for some time, huge successful coaching business that I was really happy about, really loved it. But I got an opportunity to come here and get back into more fitness general, and I thought that was kind of where it felt right for me. So I'm here, happy to help however I can. Hopefully I can share a few things with you about what I've seen are important attributes for success, shall we say. All right, so first I'm just going to break it down for you, and then we're going to go into some more detail on these few points. There's just like 4 points. We're going to go through that. If you have questions, hopefully we can get through some of the content first and then ask questions, but this is a pretty informal group. We are setting up for happy hour, you might have noticed, right? So there could be some coming and going, all right? It's all good. It's all good. All right. Tip number 1. No. No extensions, okay? No extensions. We will go into this, but I have heard them all. I'm too old. I work too much. I have kids. I have this. I have that. I have an injury. I have all kinds of stuff, okay? There are no valid excuses. Period. Period. Got it? Okay. Have a plan. Okay. You need to have a plan, people. You need to have a plan. We'll go into all of that, right? But just going with the wind ain't gonna work. It doesn't work. You need to have a plan. You need to set yourself up for success. Good. Awesome. All right, next. You're gonna love this one, okay? What you put in your mouth matters. Right? It matters. You cannot eat whatever you want, whenever you want. That's the brutal truth. If you want the fitness that you want, if you want to get it, you cannot just eat whatever you want when you want. That's the brutal truth. Okay? We'll go into that. Last. You gotta get your head on straight. Okay? You gotta get that mental game tight. You gotta know what you want, and you gotta go after it. Okay? Get your head together. There's lots of resources for that. The mental game, maybe that should be first. Okay? The mental game is huge. It's huge. Okay, those are all the tips. You can leave. Yeah, if you weren't able to take the notes, okay? So I'm going to go into a little bit about that. All right? So, like I said, the no excuses. Unfortunately, you know, we tell ourselves a story, right? We tell ourselves a story. And, you know, I've seen this particularly, like, I have cancer. And you turn it, I have a back issue. I have diabetes. And it turns into your identity. You just start backing you up, you know, and you're like, this is me. I have all these things. That's why I can't do what I want to do, right? It's BS. It's BS. Who's calling me? What do they want? I'm busy. I'm busy. So, I literally have trained people on the wedding day, on funeral days, on all kinds of things, right? So it's not necessarily the one workout. It's a mentality. The excuse mentality is huge, huge. People tell themselves a story, believe it, and that's a huge obstacle for them getting to where they want to go. So when you're telling yourself something, check it. Is this true? Is this the only thing I can do? Because I train people with all kinds of things. I trained a guy in a wheelchair for World Championships in Kona, Hawaii for an Ironman triathlon, okay? Full distance. in a chair, and even the part that was supposed to be good had problems, right? So this kid fell rock climbing when he was 18, broke his back, okay? He didn't give up, no excuses. Works full-time as a resource teacher, okay? Amazing guy, amazing guy. He could have just sat there, poor me, there's nothing I So whatever you've got, and there are things that are wrong, right? You hurt me. Okay. Is that your whole body? There's nothing else you can do. I hurt my knee, I can't go to the gym. Okay, really? There's something you can do. There's always something you can do. Even if you're really, let's say you are really sick. You're really sick, whatever. You can use your brain and move it in there. Visualize where you want to be. See it, think about it. Read, do things that support your fitness goals, even if they're not physical. All right, we'll go back again. We'll get some questions and all that going on. Have a plan. All right. This starts with your goals. Okay. So what is it that you want to do? And there's a lot of different kinds of goals that can be out there, right? It could be everything from I want to be able to get off the floor when I'm playing with my grandchildren and stand up without pain. Maybe your goal is you want to do an Ironman triathlon. Maybe you want to climb Mount Kilimanjaro. Maybe you want to do 12 pull-ups. Maybe you want to do a handstand. There's a lot of different kinds of goals, okay? There's a lot of different kinds of goals. Figure out what you want, okay? Figure out what you want. And then you want to dig. You want to start to dig, okay? You want something, and then you want to ask yourself, why? Why do I want this? And then dig. So I want it because I want to be more fit. Okay. Why do you want to be fit? What is it about that that's attractive that you want, okay? Maybe you want to look hot, okay? That's valid, okay? Why? So go another deep. Go deeper. Because when I see my ex, I want him to be suffering. Okay? Keep digging. It's all good. Okay. There's no wrong answers here. It's just you talking to yourself, right? This is you. What is it? Because I just want to be fit isn't going to be enough for you to get up and do the stuff you have to do to get good fitness level. Okay? If you want optimal, you are not going to get it with some laid back approach. You need to know what you want, and then you need to find out where you are now. And more realistic. Okay, where are you now? Get on the in-body. Alright? Get on the scale. Find out how much muscle you have. What's your body composition? Where are you? What's your endurance? How long can you walk? Right? Where are you? Where do you want to go? Then we've got to bridge. We've got to make a bridge. How do we get there? I usually recommend SMART goals. Anybody heard of those? I know many. Specific, measurable, attainable, and realistic. Okay? So all those, let's go on the chart right there. Okay? It's true. Alright? You can't just say, I want to get faster if you're running, right? I need to be more specific. How much faster? Okay? Is it realistic? I mean, how much faster? Do I want to run a 4-minute mile? I'm probably not going to get that. How about a 6-minute mile? Probably not. Okay? Can I get a little faster? Can I get 10% faster than I am now? Okay? We want to break it down. Make it specific. Okay? I want to do 12 pull-ups. How many can I do now? 0? Okay, that's fine. That's fine. That's the truth. Okay? How am I going to get to 12? And how long is it going to take? Alright? Is it realistic? Is it realistic for me to do 12 pull-ups when I have reconstructed shoulder surgery? May not be a good idea, right? So keep it real. Think about what you want. You can have a couple of different things, right? Maybe you want to do 15 push-ups and 15 pull-ups, something like that, okay? Have a couple of different things you're working on. That's totally good. But you want to figure out what it is. Look at your timeline, right? So it's got to have a time base to it. No excuses. Figure out what you want. Make sure it's realistic. Go through all that, right? You need help? I'll help you, okay? You need help figuring out how to do this. I love doing that stuff, okay? But you need to do it, okay? Without a plan, I see it all the time. People, you might get some results there, but they're going to be sporadic, okay? I see people in the gym all the time. I'm training somebody, we're on lap around, and I see this the next person they go on the lap, and then I go on the next thing. Then all of a sudden they're over there. So they're just kind of, well, it must be good because the trainer's showing somebody how to do that. So it must be, but they don't know. I mean, what I have is a plan for that particular individual that's specific to what they want. That's what trainers do. Trainers figure out what you need. I want to be fit enough to do that. If I want to do 15 pull-ups, I want to be fit enough to do that. Whatever I want, I want to be fit enough to do that. That's kind of a lofty goal, right? But that's where I started. That's where I started. Then I'm going to break it down to what am I going to do this year, right? What am I going to do? And it's okay if it's not, right? There's going to be peaks and valleys, right, to your fitness. Something will happen. Something is going to happen to your plan. You're going to have to because you might get sick, and you might have to take care of your grandkid, or you might have to travel, or something might happen, right? Don't use that as an excuse. Everybody has stuff happen. Everybody has stuff happen. You get back up, and you go again. That's it, right? You fall down 13 times, you get up 14. That's what you do. That's what you do. You don't give up. You don't give up. You might have to revise. That's okay. That's normal. If fitness were linear, I would have been in the Olympics 10 times. Probably not. Okay, but you know what I'm saying? Everybody has these peaks and valleys, these waves, if you will, okay? It's normal. Don't beat yourself up. Just get back on, right? Maybe you need to revise that goal. Maybe it's not going to be appropriate now because you took a new job and now you work 60 hours a week and your idea that you were going to work out 5 times a week isn't realistic anymore. Fine. Fix it. Don't beat yourself up, right? So I could go on this. I taught classes on that, okay? So I'll move on. What you put in your mouth matters. It's very, very, very important. Now, I'm all about exercise, right? Especially strength training, right? Cardio, flexibility, right? But the food matters. It matters, okay? Here's what I see happening. People get all wound up. People get all wound up. How many macronutrients is it paleo? Is it vegan? How many grams a month? Keep it simple. Keep it simple. 1 gram of protein every 3 hours. All right? Real food. Eat seasonally. Very simple. Okay? It matters. It matters. I do meal prep all the time, and I have actually had to skip a workout because my meal prep wasn't done. That's how important it is. I will skip a workout to do meal prep.
What do you mean by that? You're ordering the meals that are coming in, or you're prepping.
You can do that. I cook everything myself. I cook everything myself with real ingredients. So I don't eat bars. I haven't had cereal for 20 years. Right, okay, so what I do, I don't eat a lot of carbs, right? Because I don't feel like it supports my goals of how I want to feel and how I want to look. So I don't deprive myself. It's not about willpower. It's about setting yourself up for success. Setting yourself up for success. Because guess what? You're going to get hungry. And then, I don't know. Oh my gosh. I don't know what to eat. I'll just have this bar. I'm just going to have this, pre-made thing. I'm just going to go through the drive-thru. Because you didn't plan. Guess what? You're going to get hungry again. I know what I'm going to eat later on today. I know what I'm going to eat tomorrow. Every 3 hours. I already made it. I already have it done. Okay? It's not hard to do. I don't have some gourmet thing.
Can you tell us about your
Mine.
program? Yeah, we want to know what you're breakfast, lunch,
Okay.
and dinner, and snacks, and we can figure out what you're doing.
Okay, alright. Even though I'm going to have all the questions at the end, I'm going to entertain any of these questions because what I eat may not be what you like, okay? So that's why I don't say you have to eat what I eat. But here's what I had today, okay? I had most of my carbs in the morning before my workout, okay? So I took frozen bananas that I've already frozen, right, last week. Those going with the oat milk into the blender. I do use, this is the only time I use protein powder. I put a scoop of protein powder. I put a scoop of a mixture that I make myself. Maca, spirulina, hemp, flax, all that stuff. I custom make it, but guess what? You can go on Amazon and buy something like that. So I put those scoops in, I put the frozen bananas in, then I get 3 huge handfuls of powder greens and stuff them into the blender. And it's big, right? It's a big drink. I drink that. Then I do a workout, then I do a little work. Then I'm going to have what I already made yesterday, actually it was 2 days ago, and a vat. Okay, and this doesn't look, it's not gourmet. I got ground beef. Now, you can do whatever if you're vegan. I'm not going to, whatever, okay? I love the idea, it just doesn't work for my body. So that's just me. Different people need different things. Then I take the ground beef in a big thing, 2 pounds or 3 pounds, right? Then I cheat because I don't have a lot of time because I work a lot of hours, but it's not going to be an excuse. I'm just going to let myself buy the Mirepoix at Trader Joe's, which is already chopped up carrots, onions, and celery. I dump that in. Then they also have this salsa already made. I dump that in. Then I dump in maybe some kind of other thing that they have in the grocery store. And okay, you can save more money by not doing it. But they might have like sometimes I put salsa in, sometimes I put whatever. But the general idea is that that's what it is. Then I get a big bowl of it, and then I slap on sour cream. I eat that a couple times. Then I might have some chicken with some blue cheese dressing. And then I'm going to have, for a snack, I'm going to have popcorn and or cheese. Done.
Popcorn.
Yeah. That's what I eat.
City popcorn.
Yeah, I make my own, but yeah, or you can buy that. I do that too sometimes. Okay? Because there are shortcuts that you can take, and why not, right? It's still like, so I don't eat packaged stuff. I don't eat some frozen meal from whatever that aisle where all that stuff is. Okay? And again, you might want to make, Jerry, she's a great cook, so maybe she's going to make up a bunch of, candy too, right? A lot of your problem. You can make up a bunch of chicken breasts. You can make whatever you like. And I go and see, I get over it. I'll make something different. So the idea is that I don't wonder what I'm going to eat. I already know what I'm going to eat. Right? So I just do it. And people are like, it's 9 o'clock in the morning and you're eating chicken breast. So what? Who cares? Right, so what? That's one of my favorite terms as people who've taken my group exercise now. So what? Maybe it doesn't fit in with the traditional American diet. Well, guess what? I don't want to be a traditional American diet person. I don't want to eat like the average American eats. I don't want to look like the average American. I don't want to. I'm not going to. Not just how they look, but the illness and sickness, from all this processed crap. So eat your food, real food, all right? Eat seasonally. It's better for you. It's better for the world, right? I won't go on a whole thing with that, but you'll get more nutrients doing that. More nutrients. Not perfect. Nothing's perfect. We have to pick. This is better than that. This is better than that. That's always the game, I play. I'm not gonna do that. But do I eat it all the time? No. I will have it, but it's going to be a choice that I make, and I'm not gonna beat myself up and say I was bad. This bad good is not healthy, people. It's not healthy to think that way. Alright? It's a choice. It's a choice. I pick what's best for me at the time, right? Oh, but I travel. Okay, that's an excuse, right? It's a little more work, I'll give you that. But even then, okay, I'm at the airport, I did whatever. They have almonds, they have cheese sticks, they've got hard-boiled eggs. They do, right? Maybe the person in the airplane isn't happy that you're eating hard-boiled eggs, but oh well. Oh well, right? Okay? What you eat matters. And I've trained people over the years. I see people here, and man, they're going to classes. They're here from like 7 in the morning till 10:30, 11 o'clock, and they're exercising, and that's great. But they're not optimal, right? They haven't optimized because probably they don't do strength training, which is imperative. And probably they eat whatever they want and do nothing, no daily activity the rest of the day. So workout, I went to my 2 classes, then I laid my butt on the couch all day and ate whatever the heck I wanted, and then the next morning I woke up, I'm going to the sports club and I'm working out, okay? So that's good and it's better, right? And there's degrees, right? We don't just change overnight because we follow our plan and we change gradually. And we make sustainable changes, right? That we can live with. So, at any rate, this could be a week-long seminar, so I'll take questions after on that too. Yes, no? Okay, so the last point I put on here is the mental game, right? You gotta get your head on straight. You gotta get your head on straight. What do I mean by that? What you tell yourself is what you get. You tell yourself you're a fat slob, that's what you get. You tell yourself you're lazy, that's what you get. You tell yourself you can't do it, you're right. So you have to be very careful about what you tell yourself. Very careful. Even if you actually don't, you're not kind of buying it like, I'm fit, do it. Right? You know, you have to. You have to. Who else is going to be your biggest fan? It's got to be you. It's got to be you. Don't wait for somebody else, right? Don't wait. You've got this. So when I was a triathlete, right, I'm a real big mantra person, right? You know what my mantra was? And I would say this over and over because I'd be out there hours because I race long course a lot, right? And 6 Ironmans, 25 halves, Boston Marathon, all kinds of stuff, 1 to 200 mile race, all kinds of stuff, right? Long time out there. You are one tough bitch. Whoops. You're a one tough chick, I mean. You're a one tough chick. And sometimes I was like this on my little arrow going, you're one tough chick. Running. Yeah, so, but I kept saying it over and over and over again. Over and over again. Even if I was like feeling weak or whatever, you have got to tell yourself what you want, okay? Have your plan, you know what you want, visualize. So visualize it. So you made your plan, you're not making any excuses. You see where you want to be. And maybe it is physical. Maybe you do want to look a certain way. Hey, I don't do it. It's all good. You know, feeling good, looking good, it's all good. As far as I'm concerned. So, was there a time when you were at that when you were that fit? Do you have a picture of it? Can you picture it in your mind? Can you see every detail about how you want it to be? Again, when I was racing, you know, I would think about, I want to finish this race in under 12 hours. And all I would see is 11 and something. 11 and something, 11 and something, 11 and something. And sure enough, I crossed the finish line no matter what happened for the previous 11 hours and 49 minutes. Doesn't matter. It was 11 something. 11 something. I'm telling you, Michael Phelps would see his number for every split. every split in his head before he hits the wall. Visualize it, see it, believe it, and do it. Yeah. So, you, on the mental game, this COVID thing had a few things that came out. So you have some issues or whatever. There's so much, there's like online Sambello and this, and there's all kinds of, support if you have help, if you need help kind of believing in yourself more. Because it's easy, right? Life is hard, you get beat up, whatever, but we're not going to make an excuse. We're going to fix what's wrong. We're going to fix what's wrong. If it's not right here, this ain't going to happen. You've got to have your head right. You got to have your head right. So, you want to think about your level of determination, motivation, all that kind of thing, and do it. If you need help, get some books. I have a bunch of things, Atomic Habits, this and that, other, Tiny Changes, all this kind of stuff. There's so many things out there, right? You don't need to overreach it. I'm just saying, there's lots of things available to help you with your plan. It seems overwhelming, you're not sure. So the trainer's here. We've got George in the room. He's master trainer, master. We have people that can help you figure out how to make your best life happen, right? So we're all here to support you and to help you get where you want to be, and you can do it. You can do it. I think I'm preaching to the choir because everybody that showed up here is already amazing, all right? But just remember too, because of that fact, you are kind of an influencer in your life too. So people are watching you because you guys are, everybody here is already, already on it, if you will, okay? But then you have that opportunity to be a leader. I remember when I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to turn 60. There's not a lot of role models on what that's supposed to look like, right? So then I said to myself, I'm just going to have to be that. It's not there, I'm going to be it. I'm going to be that and give the younger girls some hope that it doesn't have to all be over, right? People are telling me when they're 30, it's over now. It's over. What? Well, then you're right. If you think it's over, you're right. It doesn't have to be, right? And here at the Sports Club, we do have a lot of great examples, actually, of people that are making it happen, making their best life happen, which is very cool. So, I gave you a few different things. Again, on these things, I could talk forever, but I'm interested to hear if you have any questions, comments, anything like that. So I'll open up the floor. Someone. Oh, there we go. Christine.
Is there a particular amount of water that we should intake every day, or is it like as long as it's supported, we're working out?
Yeah. I just tell people, like, look at your budget and all that kind of thing. Electrolyte waters, all that are good. I drink the tap water. I'm fine with it. I haven't died yet. But I don't like the plastics. I don't, I try to just have my, but that's your own preference. Just get it in. Get it in. Reverse osmosis, all this other stuff to take the crap out. I believe all that, right? It's a matter of your budget and your time. And not getting overwhelmed with the small stuff, right? But it's a really good question. Because your body is a large percentage of your body is water, right? So, anybody else? Yes, ma'am. Okay, I was ready for that because it's again I was saying, like, just we want to keep it simple, real food, all that other kind of thing. I've had people that have phenomenal results with intermittent fasting. I think everybody's different. Let me explain. I used to work at UNLV. I used to teach there, right? I run this lab here, the UNLV lab. That's a community outreach. So I'm pretty up to date with the science. I've been around a lot of the professors and a lot of the people doing research on nutrition. The kinesiology department that I'm connected with, the nutrition is in that umbrella, okay? But here's the deal. Registered dietitians are trained to work with sick people. I hate to tell you. People, institutions like jail, prison, jails, hospitals, nursing homes, things like that. So sports nutritionists are often self-proclaimed. I am a sports nutritionist, and it's a field where there's a lot of charlatans, There's a lot of people that are not really qualified. But then there's some good people. You just don't know. The sports nutrition field is emerging. There's not a lot of standards on it. And we're all different. We all are different. So I say, I've tried it. I tried everything. I was vegan. I was vegetarian. I was this, you name it. You name it. I experiment on myself all the time. I did not get results with that, but people do. So that doesn't mean it won't. Here's why most people don't get results. Because they're just giving themselves permission to do what they want to do, which is eat nothing all day and eat all night. Okay? And that's not how it's supposed to be, but that in your mind, I was fasted for 12 hours, or 10 hours, and then I ate whatever. So, I don't have these rules, you can't eat at night, this and that. But people, again, remember I said good and bad, so I'll talk to new people before I reprogram them. And they'll tell me, Jackie, I said, how was your food going? I was so good all day. I was so good all day, and then I went out with my girlfriends, and I had nachos, and I had margaritas, and I had whatever, and I was bad. No, there's no possible way you could have been anything but lacking willpower. You were hungry. You were tired. You were having fun, or you were stressed. Whatever it is, you did not set yourself up for success because you didn't eat often enough, right? Sometimes I eat like I'm going to go out to dinner and I eat at 4, just so I don't do something silly when I go out, right? You can look at the menu before you go. You can make a choice. But again, if I say try it, but don't try this, idea that I'm going to not eat all day and then I'm going to eat all night, because that's when you're more tired, you're more stressed, most people, and you can fall into like that, eat whatever you want because you don't care because you think you were good all day. It doesn't work that way. So this calories in, calories out is kind of old school. This kind of, when you eat matters. So the way your body works is you want to keep the engine going. So you think just the exercise is where your metabolism is at, right? But this digesting food takes a tremendous amount of energy. So when you're not doing that, you're kind of missing that opportunity to burn more calories for free, okay? So you have to keep that in mind too, right?
So are you counting carbs?
I don't count carbs or calories.
What do you count?
I do a mindful approach, but it won't happen overnight. At first, I would just look at pictures and measure stuff and see what's 20 grams of protein, and listen to my body and see how much is that? How many eggs is that? How big is that chicken breast? So I do not count them because I feel like it's too overwhelming for people. I don't want to do it. Your body knows what it needs. It knows what it needs. You have to listen to it though. And if you don't have enough confidence at first, you can keep a food journal. I recommend journaling in general anyway, just for this mental game, right? But whatever you're focused on, let's say it is the food, right? Or whatever it is, you can just kind of look and see what are my patterns. If you're doing a food journal, I recommend putting not just what you ate, how much you ate, what time it was, and how were you feeling? Was I angry? Was I sad? Was I bored? And just look for the trends. That way then, with a clear head, you can say, how can I manage this in the future? How can I try to, I know this thing happens, this is a pattern for me. I have some people that I've worked with in the past, and they don't eat because they're sad. They don't overeat because they're depressed. They overeat because they're happy. The happiest darn people ever. And man, family, celebrate, And, so that's another trigger. Happy, right? Oh, by the way, the no excuses. With the food, here's what I've heard. For years, well, Jackie, I can't stop eating carbs because I'm Italian, or I'm Polynesian, or I'm Jewish, or I'm fill in the blank. Fill in the blank. Every culture loves to eat, okay? And they believe it, right? They believe, like, I cannot stop because I am that, right? So I tell myself, I am fit. What would a fit person have? So that's the mind shift. Instead of, anyway, am I off track or what? Anything else? Yes.
Found the better I train, the more consistent I train, the better my training goes.
Yep.
The better food, the more I train, and the better I eat, the more I want to train, and it gets from the right way.
I love that point, Joe. I call that the upward spiral. Okay? We are all familiar with the downward spiral. I don't exercise if I eat like crap, then I don't get enough sleep, and then I'm tired, and then I eat more. Okay? The upward spiral, right? I worked out. I completed my workout. I feel good. I'm proud of myself. I don't want to blow it by, having the whole basket of bread by myself, right? I want to continue. So now I'm going to eat healthier, and then I'm like, well, I want to feel good for my workout tomorrow. Maybe I should go to bed by 9 instead of binge watching until 1:30. So those one choice leads on to more and more choices, and it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. So here's the story, guys. I promised you 4 to 4:45. I'm going to stay around here and answer any questions as long as you want. I really, really appreciate each and every one of you coming out here and coming over here in the, heat and all of that, putting up with all that. And I hope you got something out of it. I really do appreciate each and every one of you very, very much.